Good morning. I'm meteorologist Lisa Green with a look at our storms that are now threatening more places in eastern North Dakota this morning. They've been slow to arrive, but they're here now, and we've got multiple warnings to go over, including a tornado warning and a very large area here of a severe thunderstorm warning that's impacting us. So this line of storm stretches from around Langdon down through Stutsman County and then back towards South Dakota. So basically border to border in North Dakota right now. So here's a look at our latest warnings. We've got this huge box here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. And then within that, a tornado warning here in pink that's circled in this box. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on this area. And this warning is for eastern parts of Foster County and that northeastern corner of Stutsman County. Radar indicated rotation. This warning in effect until 3 a.m. and looking for the potential of some hail with that as well. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. We're going to take a look at the storm itself. And again, we're looking at places like the Kensal area already being impacted by this. It is rolling eastward, so eventually moving into Griggs County. And again, those eastern portions of Foster County. And taking a look at our radar velocities, we're looking at this area right here where we're kind of seeing the colors on the map that are, I'm going to switch to a different radar site. There we go. It's a little bit better. This is an area that's right on the edge of two radars. I've switched to the Bismarck radar. So we're looking at wind in anywhere in red. We always talk about this. Red radar velocities are objects, whether it is hail or rain moving away from the radar site, detected as moving away, and green is objects, hail, rain, moving toward. And so we're seeing a really strong wind just north of Wimbledon, moving away from the Bismarck radar site, and then we're seeing some green going towards. So there's some rotation in there, a lot of turbulence in this line here as this continues to push to the east. So that's the area of indicated rotation. Switching back to the other radar site, also showing a similar thing here, but the other radar site is in Mayville, so the direction's different. So now we have blue. So this looks like some intense wind within the storm. I'm just going to peer into it and take a look at just how strong these winds may be. This is now moving into Griggs County again. Now this is radar estimated velocity of 90 miles per hour. And another spot here just south of Highway 200. It looks like I'm a little off on my query there. And we'll try that again. Maybe, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's indicating a very strong gust of 100 miles per hour there. So intense winds. Of course, this is estimated by the radar. It may not be what the ground truth is at the surface, but we are starting to get some reports in of some strong wind gusts here with these storms as they're blasting through. That is the tornado warning. Again, it's in effect for another 8 minutes. Well, we've just got a new tornado warning issued. So let's take a look here at this new one. I'm going to query this one. We're looking at Barnes County, Griggs County, Steele County included in this tornado warning in effect until 3:15. Benford area included in this. Still some radar indicated rotation. We just showed you those velocities that were detected on the radar, which are intense as they're getting ready to cross the county line into Griggs County. And in fact, as we were looking at those radar velocities, they were crossing over the county line into into Griggs County. Eventually Cooperstown, you're in the path of this too. In fact, you are under that tornado warning. So Griggs County, want to make sure you're sheltering now, getting into your safe space. Reminder, lowest level of your home, ideally a basement, but if you don't have a basement, that lowest floor, head to an interior room and make sure that you are in a room with no windows. You're getting low, protecting your head, and staying put until that storm goes by. So again, looking at a new tornado warning that has been issued for the viewing area in the Griggs County area. I'm just pulling up the details on this warning for you. Looks like in detail, we've got Griggs County, we've got northwestern Barnes County. So just this northwestern sliver here and that north of Valley City, north of Lake Ashtabula. And the Eddy County, southeastern Eddy County, and southwestern Steele. So there's that corner of southwestern Steele, and Eddy County also included in this. So it's just been expanded a little farther north to kind of supplement the warning that's still in effect in Foster County and Stutsman County. So this is moving east at a very fast clip now. This is moving fast. We're talking 65 miles per hour. So racing across the valley here. The storm is capable of producing a tornado and quarter-size hail. And again, this is radar indicated rotation, and it's fast. It's going to be on you fast. So if you're in Cooperstown and you think you have some time, you may not have time because of the speed that it's moving. I'm going to track this out for you so that we can look at the places in the path of the storm currently. So I'm going to take it from the leading edge, and then at 65 miles per hour as this is moving eastward. This is moving pretty fast again, guys. So we're looking at this, if it holds together within the hour, reaching I-29. So places like Cooperstown, like the Binford area, this is making its way toward you soon. We're looking at eventually into Steele County, the Findlay area being impacted. And again, if it holds together, and I think the line itself will, we're looking at Mayville being impacted within the hour here. So racing across the valley here with that potential for tornadic winds going on within this storm. So I'm going to quickly just take a look at, since we just had that new warning, I skipped over the other warning that's been in effect, and that's this larger area, a overall severe thunderstorm warning that encompasses the strongest and most intense part of this line of storms. And so this stretches from around Devil's Lake, Highway 2, down through Barnes County, and that is going to be in effect here. We'll pull this up. That is going to be in effect until 3:45 this morning. And so this warning is likely because of the intense wind gusts. We're looking out for wind that is, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more and see if we can get more details here on the map. Okay, that's the tornado warning. Okay, so here's a look at the severe thunderstorm warning, the overall warning. And this is in effect until 3:45. Again, we are looking out for a considerable threat because of the wind possibility. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour with this storm as it moves to the east. We're looking at that line really quite intense for a long stretch here. So we're talking about the Michigan area along Highway 2 and Nelson County included in this warning. Also, I'm just going to read off the counties: Benson, Ransom, Grand Forks. It looks like western parts of Grand Forks County right now. And let's see here, Nelson County, Cass, northwestern Cass, Griggs, Barnes, Eddy, and western Steele County for this big warning that is in effect. Also, a quarter-size hail possible with this too. And the overall line of storms is moving to the east at 55 miles per hour. So some very fast clip with this line of storms, and now that it's moving into the valley, it's going to blast through. So again, we have that tornado warning embedded in this overall line. So you can see that line stretching down just west of Valley City, Cooperstown, again the Michigan area, Nelson County. You are all in the path, surrounding areas all in the path of this severe storm that has the potential within it to produce some damaging wind gusts. So back to that tornado warning. Again, this is in effect until 3:15, the newest version of it, as this continues to roll eastward. I'm going to once again take a look at our velocities or wind speeds here. And we've got some pretty strong winds, again, being detected on the radar, these areas in blue. And notice how it's kind of undulating here a little bit. So we've got these areas where we're pushing, the wind is pushing out, more blue there, more there, and a little bit of red coming in there as well into western parts. Again, this is Griggs County here. And again, some pockets of intense wind. And that's what happens a lot of times with these lines is you'll get areas where that wind is much stronger, smaller areas, and then these kind of eddies form within the line, and that's where we've got those spin-up kind of tornadoes that develop. And so that's the area where we're watching for tornadic activity. So looking a little bit closer, again, Hannaford, Cooperstown, right in the mix here, and this is the area where I'm seeing the strongest wind heading toward the radar site. So this is the area especially that I'm watching here as it moves to the east. So again, if you're in the path of this storm, if you are in specifically right now, if you are in Griggs County, please take cover. But everybody's in the path of that line in that larger area of severe thunderstorm warning. And so the wind gust there could be 70 miles per hour. And we have had some verification on that we've seen some gusts of that speed. I'm going to just go back and look at, I think this is in the Bismarck area, or coming from the Bismarck office. We did have a wind gust speed of, let's see here, 69 miles per hour in the Ypsilanti area. And the Courtney area reporting a 63 mile per hour gust there. The Jamestown Airport reported a 69 mile per hour gust. So again, essentially 70 mile per hour gusts are being detected within this storm. Medina had a 67 mile per hour gust as well. And the Arrowwood station also in the Edmonds area in Stutsman County, 64 mile per hour gust. So severe gusts happening within these storms already. And then there may be some areas where again we get these stronger wind gusts where we're talking areas of more intense wind. I'm just going to peer into these areas again where we see the darker blue on the map on our radial velocity or relative velocity here. And the radar again estimating a wind at 87 miles per hour. Looking out to the west of Hannaford, that little cell here, 89 miles per hour. That's just a snapshot looking into the storm. Doesn't necessarily, again, the radar's detecting what's going on aloft, so it doesn't necessarily mean that's what's going to happen at the surface, but certainly some intense winds. And then there's another area here west of Binford where we're getting some 80+ mile per hour velocities detected as well. So again, this is whether it's a tornado or not, this particular part of the line is producing some intense wind, some severe wind as this is moving through Griggs County. So we're going to clear that away. I'm going to take a look at our hail as well, just to see if we are looking at, oh, my phone is going off, just one moment. Okay, so looking at the hail size estimate on this system, looking at it producing some, what looks like some small hail right now. If we had severe hail detected, we would be seeing some light blue on the map. That would be 1-inch diameter hail detected. And I'm not seeing that showing up on our hail size estimate right now, but there is hail detected within that storm, that line that's moving east through Foster County and into Griggs County now. And then also in that storm in western parts of Walsh County here this morning too. So this is all part of an overall very large area of rain and wind and storms that will continue to make its way through the valley. We're going to see it march its way through. And again, it looks like, at least as of right now, if this holds, nobody will be spared the rain and thunderstorms, and we'll all be watching out for the potential for segments of this line to produce damaging wind gusts. And then on top of that, some areas where we may be seeing some tornadic activity as well. We do have that severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect until 7 a.m. It includes eastern North Dakota. It includes western parts of Minnesota as well. And that is, again, going to be impactful for our western counties sooner, and then it'll be a little bit later in that watch time that we'll see the storms into eastern parts of our viewing area. So that's kind of an overview of what we've got going on. I do want to mention that there is another severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for the Lemoore and Dickey County areas too on the southern extent of this line as well. So again, lots of warnings across the board here. That warning here in effect until 4 a.m. And it's looking at 60 mile per hour gusts moving into the Edgeley area right now, approaching places like Lemoore. Eventually we'll see that moving into places like Ellendale in the Oaks area as that continues to move east as well. So again, some serious wind associated with these storms. And in addition to that, we do have that tornado warning. Looking at, we've got a few new messages here, so I'm just going to go look over these and make sure we've got everything covered. That thunderstorm warning continues for the overall area, the flashing one. When it's flashing like this, we're talking about considerable severe threat. Again, that's the wind associated with this storm. Looking at wind gusts of 57 miles per hour in Wishick. And just a continuation, it looks like, of the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. And we're also looking at, okay, the severe thunderstorm warning for Nelson, Eddy, and Benson County was canceled as the storms have moved out of that part of the valley as this continues to move eastward. And this is gonna be very fluid because it's moving to the east at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So it may outrun the warnings here pretty quickly. So those may get canceled very quickly over time. The severe thunderstorm warning here, just got an update on the warning that's in effect, this large box where we're looking at basically it's from Highway 2 area down through that Highway 200 corridor and then down to I-94. That warning remains in effect here until 3:45, excuse me, and that is for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And again, we have had confirmed reports of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts within this storm. My settings on my radar not keeping up with the movement on it. So this is again in effect. That's the tornado warning, the severe thunderstorm warning again in effect until 3:45. We're looking out for hail too. Could be up to 1 inch in diameter, though I just checked on that, not seeing that hail necessarily right now. And as this moves to the east, we are going to be watching for it to affect places like Fargo, like Grand Forks here coming up. And these storms, anywhere within this line, there is that possibility we could see a tornado produce. And again, a reminder, we do have that tornado warning in effect until 3:15 for Griggs County, including Cooperstown. It's right on your doorstep right now. So you should already be in your safe place where you need to be when tornado warnings are issued. And this is moving into the Hannaford area right now as well. Binford being impacted by that too. So again, storms continue to blast through the valley here this morning. And we're looking out for the potential for 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and tornadoes potentially within the storms. So just a reminder here as we're talking about a tornado warning, we want to remind you about tornado safety. We want to make sure that we are in a sturdy structure. So a reminder, campers, RVs, mobile homes, not safe. If you get a warning in your area, you should be heading to your designated storm shelter. If you are in any of those locations or structures, you want to get into a sturdy structure, lowest level, into an interior room. So those are the areas highlighted in green here: closet, hallway, stairs, especially beneath the stairs. Bathroom, if it's an interior bathroom, sometimes it can't be avoided, but we want to avoid outside walls. We want to avoid windows as well. But obviously, we're looking at the basement being the best bet here for you. Want to make sure you're covering yourself with blankets and especially covering your head and getting low. And then again, just a reminder, basement is the best place to be during a tornado warning. So here we are dealing with another round of severe weather into the overnight hours and gusts that have verified at 70 miles per hour in the valley. And we're continuing to track severe storms and this tornado warning that is in effect until 3:15 in the Griggs County area. It also includes a little sliver of Barnes County and that southwestern corner there of Steele County. So if you're in Findlay, if you're in Steele County, you want to make sure that you are watching for this storm and that you're kind of preparing to head to safety here soon. I imagine a warning will be issued soon beyond this one. We're looking at, again, moving east at about 55 miles per hour, and the line itself the line itself is moving east at about 55 miles per hour. The last update on the tornado warning was that it was the tornado warning itself, the warned area, that segment of the line here moving at 65 miles per hour. So again, I'm going to track this out for you as we look at places that will be in the path of the storm. So I'm going to try to follow the leading line. And again, you may see wind gusts, intense wind gusts ahead of that line, well out ahead of it. So that's a possibility here. So we're looking at, let's go at the highest estimation of 65 miles per hour. Again, Valley City, this is in town right now, essentially. It's right there. And then looking at the Page area, western parts of Cass County in the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then over into Castleton in the next about 3:43, so a little under 45 minutes here, 30 to 45. And again, if this line holds together, and I do think it will, we're looking at Fargo around 4 a.m. arrival time of this line of storms. You know, give or take some time here with this line, an evolving situation going on. Grand Forks also in the path of this in the next 45 minutes to an hour or two. But you can see it's the kind of the squiggle structure of this. So there are segments that are more intense than others. We'll remove this track so you can see the radar a little bit better. There are segments that are more intense than others. We've got one kind of bowing out. It's not currently warned severe in the western parts of Walsh County. And then this bowing segment right here, where we're looking at some of the most intense winds. We had really strong gusts again around Jamestown, that 69-mile-per-hour gust clocked at the airport. And then within this segment, there can be these little eddies where we get these spin-up tornadoes that could develop as those winds get intense and start to swirl. So we'll have a line here that's in that 70-mile-per-hour range for potential gusts, and then certain pockets within that line where we get these bursts of stronger wind gusts potentially. And right now, of course, we are warned for that tornado warning in the Griggs County area. So Cooperstown, again, getting hit right now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more on some of these communities. We're looking at, again, Binford in the mix here. Hang tight there. Hannaford, same thing. Cooperstown moving in, and then, you know, kind of pushing out from the Hannaford area. We're seeing some of our strongest gusts. In fact, and I just want to mention, if you're in Findlay, if you are in the Pillsbury area, if you're in Hope, this is coming your way pretty quickly here at the speed of 65 miles per hour. It won't take long to reach you. And here's a look at our velocities again on these storms. We're looking at this particular segment, and we've got one intense burst here right over Hannaford, and then another one into places north of Cooperstown, again the Binford area, seeing that was pretty evident on the normal radar you're used to seeing. And then again on these velocities, these green and blue areas, those are raindrops heading toward the radar site in Mayville, which is right behind me right there. And so it's really close, getting close to the radar site. It's able to detect the speed of those raindrops. And we're looking at, I'm just going to peer into that very deep blue spot just to the northeast of Hannaford, and the radar estimating that 94-mile-per-hour wind gust there. And again, up by the Binford area into that 80-mile-per-hour plus range in that area too. Cooperstown's kind of in a little bit of a spot in between some of these areas of strong winds, but that can be where, you know, those eddies, those swirls happen. And again, we are watching out for the potential for a tornado in that location. Okay, we've got a new warning now. Here is a tornado warning for, it looks like Nelson County, the Mackville area, and then that northern portion of Griggs County included in this new warning. So let's see, we're going to zoom in a little bit more. This is a radar indicated tornado in effect until 3:30 this morning. Again, it's Mackville, kind of right in the heart of this as this storm is moving east. And we're also looking at a 1-inch diameter hail possible with this latest storm. I'm going to take a look at what the National Weather Service has for us on details on this particular warning. We're looking at this moving to, oh, I'm looking at the other tornado warning. Sorry, guys. A lot of information coming out. Again, that tornado warning in effect for Griggs and Nelson County. And the warning for the southern end of the warning here, it's still marked, but in the next 3 minutes, that will go away. It's going to expire at 3:15. But let's take a look at this new warning. Okay, so officially southern Nelson County and northern Griggs County included in this. Of course, that's pretty obvious in this box here. It's moving to the east at 45 miles per hour, and radar is indicating that there is the potential for a tornadic activity from near Tolna to near the Red Willow Lake area, and that's radar indicated rotation within these storms. Again, we have had confirmation of 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts gusts within these storms. So the gusts themselves are strong, and then you get these stronger circulations that could be even stronger. So even if you're not tornado warned, we do have this new warning here, but even if you're not, want to make sure you're getting away from windows. 70-mile-per-hour winds can take down trees. If one lands on your home, you don't want to be, branches land on your home, you don't want to be anywhere near windows, and get to a lower level during events like this with winds this strong. So again, new tornado warning. This is in effect until 3:30 for the storm that has radar indicated rotation. I'm going to take a look again now with this new part of this storm. And it's this particular area right here where we're seeing that bowing structure, that wind pushing out from this. Also looks like there might be a little bit of a notch here too in the raindrops heading toward the radar site in Mayville. So, there's a couple of areas along the line where we have that potential for tornadic activity, but certainly looking at a pretty intense wind gust northeast of the Binford area. Peering into that, we're looking at, the radar estimated wind of 101 miles per hour. So that's definitely going to be tough to deal with here as this continues to move eastward. I'm going to remove that, and we're going to track out that particular. There we go. I'm just going to roll back here on the radar and just kind of look at the development, just analyze it a little bit. So this has been generally this particular gust, this particular burst of wind continues to basically move east. So that's an area that I'm watching for. It'd be northern parts of Griggs County for some really intense winds. And then into the Nelson County area, I'm watching this area in particular for perhaps a little bit of rotation right there just to the west of Macville along Highway 15 there, so the Pekin area. So again, keeping an eye on these areas. We're seeing just a little bit of a push of raindrops west, away from the radar site in Mayville in red, and then a little push here east, toward the east of raindrops toward the radar site, and that just is a little bit of general rotation showing up here on our radar velocity scan. So that is, again, moving eastward. So we're talking about places along and north of Highway 15 being in the mix for this one. I'm hearing some updates going across. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything with any new information. Okay, the severe thunderstorm warning was canceled for Stutsman County, and the warning for Lemoore and Dickey counties continues. We'll take a look at that in just a moment, kind of recap things here in a second. But we have had some, again, confirmed gusts into the 70-mile-per-hour range. Our highest gust so far with these storms was when they were blasting through the Courtney area in Stutsman County, 5 miles west of Courtney. We had a wind gust of, let's see here, 77 miles per hour. So some intense gusts here that have happened, and that continues to be a possibility even in areas that are not under the tornado warning but are in that severe thunderstorm warning. Could see some damage from this. So let's zoom back out. Let's take another overview. Again, this line continues to roll eastward and will continue to be a factor for us through the course of the morning. We have our severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 7 a.m. And it looks like we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued here. So that is going to be part of that overall line, that kind of squiggly line here, that will just continue to create some straight line winds, some damaging, intense straight line winds. And then in addition to that, the potential for embedded in there tornado activity. So let's zoom in again on our newest warning here. They're overlapping. They're starting to overlap at this point. This is the new warning. We're talking about the potential for destructive damage. I was just peering into the storms if you were following along. 80+ mile-per-hour wind gusts detected on the radar. Well, now we have this warning for this line we've been watching for 80-mile-per-hour wind gust potential. So this includes areas like southwestern Grand Forks County, the Northwood area. It includes Mayville, it includes Portland area, it includes Steele County, Findlay, part of this as well. So this is going to be the kind of one of the stronger parts of the storm, the line of storms. This is one of the stronger segments that is pushing through. I'm going to pull up information on this here. Okay, we got a new wind gust report, 74 miles per hour, a gust in Valley City. A report from the station there at the airport. So 74-mile-per-hour gust was reported in Valley City. And taking a look at Valley City right now, you can see that segment pushing east toward the western Cass County line. So pretty soon that's going to outrun that warning. We may see a new warning issued here shortly. And so that was for Valley City. And again, I'm sorry guys, I've got just a lot of information coming through that I want to make sure I get to. Yeah, we still have our severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect, this new warning for the Mayville area, for the Findlay area. This is again in effect until 3:45, this newest segment. So we're talking about the potential for destructive wind gusts in that 80-mile-per-hour range. So I'm going to once again zoom out a little bit more, just take a look at the line overall. And you know, we don't have severe thunderstorm warnings basically north of Highway 2. There is a warning here that does stretch up into northern parts of Nelson County. So I don't want to leave you guys out. So basically north of Nelson County, no current warnings, but there is lightning, thunder, gusty winds going on, just not necessarily severe at the moment. So basically from the northern part of Nelson County, we've got this tornado warning embedded in this line, and this line continues southward toward Valley City. So let's zoom back out. I'm going to check in on hail size here, on our hail size estimates. Again, I'm not seeing any light blue on the map. That's what we want. Well, we don't want to see it, but that's what we are looking for the potential for, you know, what would classify as severe hail, 1-inch diameter hail. So I'm not seeing that. That's good. But some of these cells are producing, you know, half-inch diameter hail, maybe penny size hail, nickel size hail, but not getting into that quarter range, which would classify it as severe. So still looking at that. A reminder that our severe thunderstorm watch here in yellow remains in effect until 7 a.m. So this is going to be all morning commute, going to be impacted. A lot of us getting woken up earlier than we'd like with these storms moving through, but it's important to take them seriously, especially at night, because we can't see these storms very well. I mean, if we get a lot of lightning, that might help to illuminate them, but we can't see the tornadoes that may develop. We can't see the destructive winds until they're upon us with these storms. And so it's important to, if you've got a warning for your area, head to your safe space, to where you need to be to stay safe during the severe weather that's moving through. Again, so here's a recap. We've got continued warnings going on this morning with our latest wind gusts in Valley City, clocked at 74 miles per hour. Just a few minutes ago, that wasn't too long ago that happened. I can pull that up and see what time that was. 3:09. So, you know, as it was moving into Valley City. And so again, that segment continues to be warned until 3:45. We have our newest warning that's in effect for the, I guess I would say, Highway 2 corridor down to the I-94 corridor, essentially, as this warned system continues on. Okay, so this is, I'm just going to do something here. I'm going to pause and just track the whole line. If it moves to the east, we've had estimates of 45 to 65 mile per hour speed in certain segments of this line. So, you know, moving along at highway speeds here, essentially, with this storm. So I'm just going to track the whole line eastward as it punches through the valley and we'll say, I'm going a little too far out here. We'll go to that 55, or we'll say 60, if at a faster speed, what we're looking at here for some of our communities. So Lisbon, this is already on your doorstep. It's about to hit you right now. Tower City, also on your doorstep. I know you're still reeling from that heavy rain that we got earlier this week. A lot of places in that 5 to 7 inch range in western parts of Cass County. Well, we've got more rain coming our way with this storm. And then Fargo, in the next 45 minutes or so, it's looking like the line will reach Fargo. And up toward Grand Forks at 60 miles per hour, also about 45 minutes or so that we may see this storm move in. So it's a fast mover, this line of storms. That's good for the threat for flooding. We don't want the rain to stick around or one storm to follow the other one as this moves through. We want it out of here. It's not good for wind, though. We're looking at an intense system that is and has the potential to produce those 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts and continue that here this morning. So I'm going to remove that query and zoom in again a little bit more on these warnings that remain in effect. Let's talk about that tornado warning again. I haven't talked about that in a couple of minutes here. So again, this is the area encompassed in the tornado warning in this pink area. It's a radar indicated tornado warning. So that means the radar is detecting rotation within this line of storms. And you can see Macville getting hit right now by the heavy rain associated with it. And this is, I'm going to go back to our relative velocities here and zoom in on this area. We've got two kind of main areas, well, three really, that I'm watching within this certain segment of the line. Again, blue is rain heading toward the Mayville radar site. So it's detecting that that rain is moving at a very fast speed. Any areas where we're in white or blue. And we've got these little notches here. Red is any rain or particles in the air moving away from the radar site. So we've got that wind feeding into these storms, and then at times we've got these little kind of notches within the line, and that's where we could see some of those swirls, some of those kind of spin ups that we look out for with this kind of activity. And into northern parts of Griggs County, northeastern Griggs County, there's one of these happening here. A little bit of circulation going on there just west of the Sharon area. This deeper blue, again, that's where we're looking at some of our highest wind gusts detected within the storm on the radar. Again, 80 plus miles per hour, and we do have that severe thunderstorm warning for 80 mile per hour gust, just peaking at a couple of spots. So again, within this a larger area of blue, again into those mid 80s here. So that is one portion of the line that I'm watching. And then farther south, another segment here. I'll move this over a little bit. My computer's blocking the way. Here's Hope. So we're looking at winds pushing out toward Hope right now along Highway 200. The Findlay area, this is about to hit as well. So again, some intense winds for you too, and there is the potential anywhere along this line again that we could see a tornado develop. And this particular segment, again, is quite strong with this round of storms moving through. So here we go. We have a new warning. We have Cass County included in this warning now. So it looks like the tornado warning is being allowed to expire for Griggs and Nelson County. So that's good to know. At 3:30, that will expire. And then the new warning that's been issued is the one that is right here, the one that's basically from Mayville back down through Fargo and then again toward Lisbon, where I'm going to just list off the counties that are included in this one. It's in effect until 4 a.m. and so about next half hour or so, and we're looking at Ransom County, Cass, in most of Cass, really, basically from around the Castleton area, that Highway 18 corridor and west, and then Southwestern Trail, Southeastern Griggs, Barnes County, and Southern Steele County, all included in this warning for the potential for wind gusts to 70 miles per hour with this segment of the storm. And again, you can see this kind of bowing segment. It's not just a straight up and down line here. There are these areas where we get these kind of curves, and that is where it's pushing out. That's where the wind is pushing the rain out, and so that's where we're looking at some of the strongest winds associated with these storms. Again, this is radar indicated, but we have had, again, reports of 74 mile per hour wind gusts in Valley City not too long ago, just at the top of the hour. I think it was 3:09 that happened. So again, more places along the line could see that type of wind gust and wind speed. Okay, let's take a look at Bismarck. We've got, okay, one other thing to note here, I know we're still tracking storms moving in, but from our Bismarck National Weather Service office, we're getting some strong winds in the wake of this system. So once these start to move out, just know that we may see some strong winds kind of working their way in behind the system as it departs, and they're looking at about 55-mile-per-hour gusts continuing in the wake of it. So something to be aware of. After the storms move through, there may still be some strong winds behind that system, similar to what we saw the other night when we had that intense rain, and then it was really windy afterward. So this is something to look out for as well. Okay, so we've got this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this new one that's in effect until 4 o'clock. And again, it includes this area right here, this big, large area, this box that's flashing here for the basically Cheyenne Valley, the heart of the Cheyenne Valley down toward Lisbon, and then farther east from there. So tracking out the, I'm going to go back to the details on this warning. Okay, tracking out those storms at 55 miles per hour along that specific segment. Let's take a look at arrival times. So we're going to, of course, Lisbon, it's here right now. There we go. We're looking at Castleton at 3:52. So in the next half hour or so in Castleton, even less than that, Mayville area, Portland area being impacted at that point. And then Fargo not showing up on the map here, but it's right here. So, and each one of these lines on this track indicates a 15-minute period. So 15, 30, 45. So in about 45 minutes, we're looking at Fargo, about 4:11 estimated here by my rudimentary track that I just did. That gives you an idea. I'd be prepared for this to be in the FM area by 4 o'clock, just in case, because it is a fast mover. And then we're watching it cross over into Minnesota after that. So again, this is a fast moving round at least. It'll be through and on, but it could cause some significant damage given that we've got some wind gusts that have been consistently getting reports in that 70-mile-per-hour range. So again, this line, I'm going to remove that track. This line will continue to roll off to the east. We do have a warning that also remains in effect for Lemoore and Dickey County areas there too. So something to keep in mind there as well. That is not the strongest part of the segment though. The strongest part is the one that's, again, bowing out. And just an update here at 3:30, that tornado warning did expire. So no current tornado warnings. Glad to see that. But again, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts can be just as destructive as a weaker tornado. So certainly nothing to ignore here. We want to make sure if you are in a warned area with those kind of wind gusts, 70 to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, we want to head to our basement, our lower level of our home, because of the potential for trees coming down, debris hitting your home, that kind of thing here this morning. So again, that's a look at the line that's moving eastward. We're looking at this watch in effect until 7 a.m. here. And so I'm going to take a break, grab a glass of water here, a little drink of water, and in about 5 minutes, we'll be back on to track this for you again. Warnings continue. We're looking at severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4 a.m. on that newest alert that's been issued. Again, a reminder, we are looking at wind gusts being our greatest threat with these storms in that 70-plus-mile-per-hour range that we have seen in places like Stutsman County, Jamestown, Valley City, and other areas within this segment. So if you have friends and family out at Wefest, maybe give them a call, give them a heads up that this will eventually be coming their way. It may not be for another hour or two, but still it's on the path for that direction here this morning with the strongest part of this storm. So again, I'm going to take a couple of minutes to take a break, re-rack, and then we'll be back on to walk you through these storms and help you be prepared for anything coming your way. In the meantime, stay safe. You can always check the VNL weather app for the latest alerts, and of course, keep an eye on the radar as well.
Live First Alert Storm Team.
Good morning. Meteorologist Lisa Green back here. And while we're tracking these severe thunderstorms moving through this line with this bowing segment here, indicating some intense winds along the severe storms that are moving through. So we're looking at a couple of areas here, the large area, this big line that's moving eastward, and then also some segments of that are on the severe side too, moving into Grand Forks County. We do have a new warning for Grand Forks County that's been issued. It also includes Nelson and Walsh counties here. It's this flashing segment that you see, including the city of Grand Forks, and then all along Highway 2 through Grand Forks County, back over toward the Michigan area, so the Niagara area, the Larimore area, looking at these storms moving through. We're going to be seeing these kind of blasting through in the next couple of minutes. I'm just going to pull up the timeline on this one, and we're looking at the speed currently of this segment as about 50 miles per hour, with the potential for wind gusts to 70 miles per hour with this line again. So considerable threat here for this part of Grand Forks County and continued Nelson County. You can see Larimore right now getting hit by this storm, Northwood as well, and that's going to move along Highway 2. So that's that segment. A second area here where we have the severe thunderstorm warning in effect. This one in effect until 4:30 this morning. We're looking at 80-mile-per-hour wind gust potential. We did get a report from a viewer a few minutes ago of extreme wind in Tower City. We really appreciate hearing from you. Some small hail was also reported in the Fairdale area, North Dakota. And we're also getting reports that Jamestown and Cooperstown do not have power, or at least parts of town don't have power in those areas. So with those kind of winds, I would expect to have some power outage issues here. So hopefully your cell phone's charged. If the storm's not to you yet, plug it in and get it charged before the storm moves in. But again, we're tracking this line as it continues to move to the east as well. And then just moving to a more southerly part of the segment here, you can see Lisbon kind of right on the edge of that. And then more areas of this storm stretching back down toward Ellendale. So this is the latest segment that is warned for. And then even in the north, where we don't have any warnings, we still have some significant rain going on in that area at this point in time. So we're going to check in here on just to see if we're getting any new information coming through. We do have a new storm report of a 63-mile-per-hour wind gust in the Hope area as that was moving through. Now it's in this leading line is in the Mayville area and into Trail County at this point. And just looking to see if we have any new information. Yes, this warning continues. Okay, so yeah, tracking those two areas. One other thing I want to mention is in the wake of this line, we're getting reports from our neighbors out in the Bismarck area of some wake wind behind this system. And we see this happen from time to time. It happened earlier this week where we saw some stronger gusts in that 50-mile-per-hour range after the initial system moved through. And so we could be seeing that on the tail end of this too. So something to keep in mind for our folks who are in Devil's Lake, the Carrington, Jamestown area. You may see your winds pick up here, if not already, in some of those locations. So again, looking at this moving its way eastward, and okay, I'm just seeing a little discussion about those wake winds. Right now there's winds in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range. Okay, so this cell right here, this is moving to the east at that 50 to 60 mile per hour range. So it's only going to be maybe 15 minutes before, maybe even less than that, before this reaches Fargo. I'm just gonna look at this particular segment in the storm. As it moves to the east, we'll go up to 60 miles per hour because there have been times where these cells and these segments have moved at that range. Just to give you kind of the top speed and the top arrival time, West Fargo, gosh, this is less than 10 minutes. It's on our doorstep. In fact, it's right over the Castleton area right now. And then that continues continues to roll eastward too here this morning. And it looks like we've got a little information. Thank you, Tatum. We've got a report of no power in Medina right now. This was as of about 2 minutes ago. So that in Medina, and then add that to the list with Jamestown and Cooperstown. So again, wind likely causing some power outages here this morning. So again, this is moving toward West Fargo in the next less than 10 minutes. This line will be tracking through, and then it'll be moving into Clay County and eventually into Becker County as well. Detroit Lakes now in the mix for this storm within the next hour. You can see the timing on that about 4:53 here. So again, watching for the next round of warnings to come out. But again, it's starting to be on our doorstep here in Fargo. I've been watching our sky cam looking out to the west. And if we can pull that up, there we go. And I've been seeing some flashes of lightning from time to time, not seeing anything right now, some kind of low level clouds that are drifting through, a lot of moisture in the air. It is muggy. It feels like we're about 80 degrees this morning when we factor in the mugginess in our temperatures. So a lot of energy helping to feed these storms as we're looking at that potential today. So I'm going to take a quick break, and then again, we'll be right back on to walk you through that storm as it moves through Fargo Morehead here in just a couple of minutes.
this. Update from the Valley News Live First Alert Storm Team.
Good morning. Meteorologist Lisa Green here to talk about severe storms blasting through the valley. It took a while for them to get here, but they're here now and they're letting us know they're definitely on the intense side. We've got reports of power outages this morning from them. Wind gusts that have been clocked at 70+ miles per hour in some areas, and they continue to be warned as they race through. So let's take a look at our latest warnings. You can see this line kind of pushing out, and this is the area where we've got the most intense storms. And I'm just seeing a new warning. It looks like we just got a new tornado warning issued here for, it looks like Grand Forks County. Let me take a quick peek at what that entails. Okay, it looks like it hasn't even come across my desk yet, but we are getting reports of 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts. Logan Center area, a gust of 67 miles per hour reported. That was at 10 meters up, 58 mile per hour gust at the surface. Okay, now the warning's coming through. Let's zoom in. We've got a new warning for Fargo Morehead. This storm is on our doorstep right now. We'll get to that in a second, but I want to make sure we're touching on this tornado warning here. This is for just south and just to the west of Grand Forks. And we do have a report of what is an observed tornado, it seems here. So here's Emerado, here's the box, here's Grand Forks, here's the box in the area here, Fairfield area on the south end of this, Thompson just to the south and east. I'm just going to get into the details on this. Okay, southeastern Grand Forks County tornado warning. This is in effect until 4:15. And the details on this warning is that a tornado producing storm was located near Emerado, or about 12 miles west of Grand Forks, moving east at 55 miles per hour. Tornado on the ground is what I'm reading here. So we're looking at again, Grand Forks County. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure I got all my information here. So this is southeastern Grand Forks County. It's just outside of the city of Grand Forks, but if this holds together, you know, if it maintains its intensity, Grand Forks would be in line, especially the south side of town for this one. Let me pull up, just take a look and see if we've got any information coming in the chat. Okay, so from the National Weather Service office, we're getting the report of radar confirmed tornadoes in western Grand Forks County. Do not appear to be ongoing at the moment, but could form again in a moment's notice. So nothing at the moment, but we could see one form again. So that's what that warning is for. Again, a tornado warning now in effect until 4:15 for southeastern parts of Grand Forks County, south of Emerado, south of Highway 2. Well, a portion of Highway 2 is included in this, out to the west of Grand Forks, out by the airport. And I'm going to just zoom in some more here on this area so we can look at which areas could be most likely impacted. So again, this is north of Highway 15, kind of between Highway 15 and Highway 2 in Grand Forks County. This storm rolling east, and it's moving pretty fast. So we're going to be watching this closely for the city of Grand Forks because it's right here, right to the east of this warned area. And in addition to that, there's severe thunderstorm warnings going on too. I'm just going to take a look at the velocity scans on this. So you can see really bright color showing up here from that storm in the north all the way down to just west of Fargo and into northern parts of Roberts County, or excuse me, Richland County. But this is the storm in question that is showing some circulation here. You can see it just kind of, it's not a smooth line. There's a little bit of a notch going on here within the velocity scan. I'm just going to manually go back and just look and see. Yeah, you can see right here. That's where it started, a little brightening in the scans, and then that we'll just drag it over and watch it as it goes east. So this is the cell and the particular part of the cell in question. So again, it's between Emerado and Fairfield to the east right now, and that is drifting east northeast. So cities of Grand Forks, especially the south end of town, you may be in the path of this storm even if you're not currently warned. It could be very quickly that this comes your way, and again, as said by the National Weather Service. There's nothing confirmed on the ground right now, but at a moment's notice, we could see another tornado. So again, tornado warning for that area. I'm going to zoom out and then just show you again, there are other places experiencing some intense wind as well. In the oranges there, that's where we're looking at some strong winds west of Fargo. Okay, so that was a new warning that just popped up as we were going on. So it's this little area here where we did have a report of radar confirmed tornadoes in western Grand Forks County earlier on. But we also have other storms capable of producing some destruction here with the wind gusts in that 70 to 80 mile per hour range. And we do have new warnings associated with them. So let's take a look. We've got this big box here. In the Southern Valley, Fargo, Morehead, it's moving right in right now. It's right on our doorstep. As this storm moves to the east, we're looking at the potential for some 70 mile per hour gusts. So we're getting ready for that to arrive, and it's already again here for our western parts of the metro, and certainly some lightning associated with that too. But it's not just the metro included in this. Is the greater Cass and Clay County areas. It's northern parts of Wilkin County, northern Richland County, northeastern parts of Ransom County, and then even into western parts of Becker County, getting close to Detroit Lakes and the Wefest location, included in the severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect until 5 a.m. for those 70 mile per hour gusts. And then in addition to that, we're looking at another warned segment here for the Hillsborough area, Trail County, back up into that north or southeastern corner, Reynolds area of Grand Forks County, and then this is for Crookston, Ada area, Norman County included in these warnings, and then all the way up toward places like Red Lake Falls under a severe thunderstorm warning for 80 mile per hour wind gust potential. And again, we have had reports of 80 mile per hour, 70 to 80 mile per hour gusts. And so we're looking at a destructive threat here within these segments. We've been talking about that this morning with these lines. We get these little eddies, these little swirls on the edges of some of these bowing segments, and that can lead to the circulation that leads up to a spin-up tornado very quickly. So that's something that's possible with any of these lines moving through. And then again, we do now have a new tornado warning for that area. So again, we have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings here for this bowing segment that extends from around Grand Forks area down through the Fargo, Morehead area, and then farther south from there. This is about to, you can see in Trail County, we're getting ready to cross over the Red River into Minnesota. So you want to be ready for our communities along the Red River as this continues to move through this morning. And again, we're talking about a tornado warning that is in effect for Grand Forks County. I have seen that circulation on the radar. And just looking to see if there's any new information from the National Weather Service on this warning. Just bear with me. We're looking at, okay, it's just continuation of warnings, nothing new as of right now associated with this warning. But again, we have this warning in effect until 4:15. So that's another 6 minutes left on this storm. I'm going to just, again, peer into it because it is getting ready to move into Grand Forks right now, or at least on the edges of the Grand Forks Metro. And we just got a new scan in. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Here we are. So it's this area right here in particular, this little brightness, this little pop of brightness in the red, and this little notch of green here where we could be seeing some of that circulation still going on. It doesn't look as strong as earlier, but still it's there. And there are other parts of the segment where we are seeing, well, there's a new update that just came in. You could see again that brightness of rain going away from the radar site and then rain toward the radar site. It's not that smooth line, that transition. And a reminder here, just really quick, when we're talking about radar velocities, this is what we call storm relative velocity. So the movement of raindrops relative to the storm's movement itself. And this is all detected from the Mayville radar site right here in the valley, at least this particular radar scan. And so the way this works is any raindrops or hail or anything else in the air that is moving toward the radar site is color coded in this kind of green to blue range. So we know we've got general movement of northwest wind, or at least westerly, with this segment from that Mayville radar site relative to the site. And then red is away. So it's coming toward the site, it's green. It's moving away from the site, it's red. And so what we look for when we're looking for the potential for tornadoes or intense winds is when we see circulation within those wind movements, the raindrop movements that's detected. And so you just got to know where your radar site is. So radar site is in Mayville, it's south. So we know if we've got red, that means the raindrops are moving this way. And then green means they're moving that way. And what do tornadic winds do? They move counterclockwise. So we're going like that potentially. So we're looking for those kind of circulations to indicate that we've got potential tornadic activity going on. And we've got a couple of these little areas in Grand Forks County, another little circulation, a little eddy going on here, and then one north of Highway 2 as well. So that's what I mean by those embedded kind of spin up circulations within the larger Boeing segment overall. And so again, this is moving toward Grand Forks. I'm going to return to our warnings and our radar scan now because right now, Fargo Morehead, we've got storms moving in as well. The line is pushing eastward, and we're watching out for 70 to 80 mile per hour gusts on this. This particular segment here is warned for 80 mile per hour gusts. For Fargo, we're looking at 70 mile per hour gusts on this. Okay, we just got a new warning. Grand Forks, you are under a tornado warning right now. Grand Cities, we want to make sure we are heading to our safe place here this morning and want to make sure that you are doing so quickly. Don't take that minute to try to look outside and see the tornado. We can't see it anyway. It's dark outside and it's going to be tough to see as this blasts through. So again, new warning just issued for the city of Grand Forks and East Grand Forks and surrounding regions. So places like Manville included in this tornado warning. And then this stretches back over into northern parts of northwestern parts of Polk County. Warning in effect until 4:45 here this morning, so a half hour on this warned storm. And this is for, I was just showing you those circulations that could spin up a tornado anywhere along that segment. And so now this warning includes a lot of that happening here for the potential for more of that occurring. So in Grand Forks, we're looking out for some not only damaging wind gusts, but also the potential that some of these wind gusts could produce some stronger circulations of wind. I'm going to pull up this latest warning, get some more details that are hammered out within the warning here. So we're looking at southwestern Marshall County, we're looking at northwestern Polk County, central Grand Forks County, all included in the warning. It does include Grand Forks, East Grand Forks here this morning. And this particular this particular segment that may have the potential for tornadoes, it's moving to the east at 60 miles per hour. So the line itself is moving through fast. It's already on top of Grand Forks right now. So again, head to your safe space if you are in the Grand Cities or in the surrounding area. I'm going to once again take a quick look here at our excuse me guys, at our wind gusts that are occurring within this storm. Let's first of all quickly just talk about tornado safety. I just want to make sure that we're all where we need to be right now in Grand Forks and in the Grand Cities. So again, when a tornado warning is issued, we want to make sure we are heading into a safe structure. The mobile homes, RVs, not safe places to be. You want to be in a sturdy structure and interior part of it, lowest level, away from windows, and in a small space. So hallway, a closet, under some stairs, in a bathroom that hopefully doesn't have a window. It's an interior bathroom. I know that's not always possible. We want to get low. We want to cover ourselves with blankets, cover your head for protection as well. Obviously, the basement underground is the best place. I know not everybody has that. But again, just want to remind you, we need to be heading in that direction in those areas under the tornado warning, including in Grand Forks. Now, I'm going to once again take a look here at our wind speeds on this. Because we're looking at several areas that could be seeing tornadic activity. You can see several circulations going on right now in the warned area. Here's Grand Forks right in the heart. And again, you can see areas where we've got rain going away from the radar site going toward, and these little notches, these little circulations, another one right here and another one right over Grand Forks with that cell we've been tracking here. And then also a little push of some stronger wind in the southern part of Grand Forks County and moving into Polk County. So this is over you right now in Grand Forks. We're going to continue to track that for you. Hopefully everybody is where you need to be here this morning. I'm not hearing of any reports as of right now of any confirmed tornado on the ground at the moment. Radar indicated rotation as of right now, but there was radar confirmed touchdown or radar confirmed tornado earlier on along this segment. So one could spin up at any moment within any of these circulations that you're seeing here on the radar right now. So again, Grand Forks and the city of East Grand Forks included in a tornado warning as we speak. Okay, looks like we have a new warning. We have a new tornado warning issued for Trail County, for southwestern Polk County, for parts of northern Norman County included in that warning here this morning. One other thing I want to pass along, we continue to have 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts. There is a report of a power line down in Mayville right now, wind estimated at about 75 miles per hour. So this line continues to produce some intense winds in addition to these new tornado warnings that have been issued. We also have a report of what will open. Well, it looks like it's getting locked up. We'll get back to that in a minute. But let's track this tornado warning. Again, this new one. A new warning in effect until 4:45 for this particular portion of the segment. And again, I can't stress enough, if you're along this line, there is the potential that any severe thunderstorm activity going on could spin up a tornado anywhere along the line. But this is where the circulations look greatest. So again, this is northwestern Norman County, southwestern Polk County, northeastern Trail County included in this. And we're looking at a radar indicated rotation warning here for that area. This storm is moving to the east also at 60 miles per hour. So let's take a look at some of the communities included in this one. We're again talking about Climax, we're talking about Beltrami area, back over toward Fertile, Crookston just to the north of this right now, but you've got your own wind coming your way as well. But this particular circulation right here, I'm going to once again switch to our velocities. This is over Grand Forks right now. You can see these areas where we've got the ragged edges between the green and the red, indicating there's some circulations, a lot of turbulence going on in that line that's moving through that could help to spin up those tornadoes. And then moving back down, this is it. This one's pretty obvious where you're seeing a really strong push of wind right now over Highway 75 in southwestern Polk County. And this is again moving away from the radar site, green moving toward in that counterclockwise fashion potentially. And I'm going to query the orange that's showing up on the map here because that is a significant wind detected, elevated, but definitely a stronger wind detected. So we're looking at 60 mile per hour wind gust there. Another 65 mile per hour wind gust there. I'm just picking various random points within that storm, closer to 70 on that point that I picked there too. So some strong winds in general. And then on top of that, we're talking about the potential for tornadic activity too, with some circulation going on with this particular line. So again, that's in this Neilsville, up Highway 75, Climax kind of on the northern fringe of that. These are mainly moving east, but there is a little bit of a northerly component for some of these Boeing segments and Boeing pockets within the overall line. So again, southwestern Polk County and northern parts of Nelson County included in that warning. I'm going to quickly move south because we do have the storms on the doorstep in the FM area. In fact, they've been moving in and some strong wind gusts associated with that stretches back toward Castleton as well. So this is moving in right now for the Fargo Morehead area. We are under a severe thunderstorm warning too. I'm going to take a quick look at our sky cam in Fargo as we are looking westward. There's some lightning, but I'm not seeing, okay, we're seeing a little more lightning now at this point with this particular storm. Okay, so we are going to take a look at the overall radar yet again. It is certainly looking pretty intense here this morning as this entire line. Look at this backward C structure here with the line as it continues to move east. This indicates a real significant push of some straight line winds coming through. And in these areas here where it's really bowing out, that's where we have our severe thunderstorm warnings. We still have gusty winds up by the border. We still have gusty winds down by the state line with South Dakota. And there have been some severe thunderstorm warnings with that. But that is going to be the area, the heart of this segment that we're dealing with some of the most intense weather. So that's moving to the east here. Looks like we have some updates here. Thank you, Tatum. Okay, sirens going off in East Grand Forks. That makes sense given that we have that tornado warning going on and a report of a tree down in Horace. So those winds are certainly having some impacts here. A reminder, we did get that report too in Mayville of a power line down there with some power outages in that area. And coming up at 4:30, we're going to be tracking some of the impacts of these storms here when the valley today starts. But right now, we just want to get you through them here as we continue to have more warnings be issued in the valley. So let's zoom in again. On this particular, kind of the heart of these storms here from Grand Forks, we've got our tornado warning. We've got our second tornado warning in kind of Polk County area, and then severe thunderstorm warning for a 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts all along this line. And I'm going to, again, we want to focus in on what's going on in Grand Forks. We do have that severe weather moving through at the moment. Tatum, I don't know if you can bring up our sky cams on our valleynewslive.com page. We have on our sky cams, if you go to the weather homepage, on those sky cams, we have a Grand Forks UND sky cam. I'd like to look and see what we've got going on there right now. I don't know if Jacob, if you can pull that up at some point here when Alex, or excuse me, sorry, Tatum, when Tatum gets that up and running. Okay, great. He'll be able to take that shot. That's the UND, yeah, right there. In the meantime, again, we are under that tornado warning right now in Grand Forks, in the Grand Cities, as these storms blast through. And it could, even if it doesn't produce a tornado, we're talking wind gusts 70 to 80 miles per hour moving through the city right now, through the Grand Cities here this morning. So that's going to continue to cross over the Red River and blast into Polk County. It might take a minute for it to come up there, and then continue eastward from there. And that warning is in effect until that warning is in effect until 4:45. Okay, Tatum's got she's got the camera up at UND. Let's take a look at what's going on in UND right now. So this is at the top of the UND Aerospace Building there at the Department of Atmospheric Science. You can see there is a sensor in the foreground. That's an anemometer that's kind of whipping around in the intense wind that's going by. You can see, of course, heavy rain, lots of lightning, some strong winds with the tree branches at the bottom of the screen really whipping in that wind right now. So that's going to be an area that is going to quiet down eventually, but we're in the middle of it as we speak. And there is the potential, again, that within this particular segment that we could see, brief spin-up type tornadoes that may occur in that area underneath that tornado warning. So looking pretty tough in Grand Forks at the moment. And now I am hearing intense winds in Fargo and heavy downpour coming down. I'll pull up our Skycam on, oh my goodness, okay, there's the Skycam. It's shaking right now. I'm going to step over and just kind of move it around so we can see a little bit more what's going on. It's pointed west right now. You can see it's really shaking in the wind at the moment as those intense winds come through. Again, a reminder, Fargo, Morehead is warned for 70 mile per hour wind gusts with this particular storm. And you can see this downpour coming down. That's something we haven't talked about much this morning. We were talking about it yesterday, the potential for a flash flooding again. We've got saturated soils and heavy rain. Look at that rain coming down in sheets, illuminated in the lights at the interchange there. And our camera is really galloping here in that intense wind. So again, severe thunderstorm warning currently for Fargo. we've got the downpour, we've got the intense wind shaking our camera at the moment here at the station in South Fargo. We're looking over I-94 and University. Not fun to drive in. I feel for the folks who are getting caught in this right now. Out on the interstate, you can see that there's water, kind of sheets of water blowing across the road too. So, we've got to be concerned about, standing water, hydroplaning, that kind of thing. Please let this pass before you get on the road here this morning, no matter where you are, wherever you happen to be as far as the severe weather that's occurring. You don't want to get caught out in this, but this is quite dramatic here as we're taking a look at conditions in Fargo with the camera shaking in the intense winds. So yeah, we're looking at that occurring right now in Fargo. I'm just going to let that kind of just show you how that's moving through. Trying to pull up some information here. We do have a report from law enforcement of damage to a shop from strong winds reported in the Findlay area in Steele County from the intense winds that moved through there. And looking at more intense wind gust reports that have been coming in. Here's some good news. Here's some really good news. The tornado warning for Grand Forks County has been canceled. That's great for Grand Forks County. However, I'm going to pull the radar back up. We still have tornado warnings for, there we go, tornado warnings for East Grand Forks, Polk County. I'm going to zoom in more on that area. The tornado warning remains in effect for East Grand Forks. It remains in effect for northwestern parts of Polk County here this morning in that area. It's canceled for Grand Forks County because the storm's moving out of Grand Forks County right now, but it is still intense. And then I also want to show you the other tornado warning that remains in effect. We're blocking it a little bit here for parts of Polk County as well, and that northern sliver of Norman County. This one is moving through places like the Neilsville area, and just to the south, it's already past the climax area. It's moving toward Beltrami and eventually the Fertile area too. This is radar indicated rotation within this storm. This one is also in effect until 4:45. So Crookston, these storms are on your doorstep too. It's already moving in. The Fisher area between Crookston and East Grand Forks impacted. And again, I just want to stress that anywhere along this line, we could see a brief spin-up tornado. With the circulation, the intense wind, it causes those eddies and circulations going on, and those can spin up tornadoes from time to time. And then those tend to have even stronger wind gusts associated with them. So we're looking at 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts along the line in general, and then you see one of those spin-ups happen, and we're looking at 80 to 90, maybe even 100 mile per hour gusts associated with those intensifying circulations going on. So here we are, lots of warnings happening right now. We're looking at, again, Grand Forks. The city of Grand Forks still getting hit right now. We just saw that on the Skycam at UND. East Grand Forks still under that tornado warning. Looks like we've got an extension of the severe thunderstorm warning here for the Grand Cities and beyond. This is for now Thief River Falls included in the warning, Newfolden now included in the warning for the potential for, again, 70 mile per hour wind gusts. There is a potential for hail. We did get a report of hail earlier on, but right now we're not seeing severe hail. It's more the wind and the tornado threat associated with this. And so that threat is considerable with, again, that potential for anywhere along the line, the possibility of a tornado briefly developing. And this warning is now in effect until 5:30 this morning. And that includes, again, the Newfolden, Thief River Falls area out ahead of this tornado warned line that's currently moving through Grand Forks, through the Grand Cities. In the town of Grand Forks, let's zoom in a little bit more here. It looks like we're starting to quiet down, especially on the southern end of Grand Forks, but East Grand Forks still under the very heavy rain associated with this line of storms. I'm going to go back to looking at our velocities. This is again the Grand Forks area, and it's not looking as defined as far as circulation right now in that area, which I'm glad to see, but we are seeing some areas of some intense wind and still some areas where we're looking at some circulation going on from time to time, including in this area here. I'm going to zoom in again. This is the tornado warned storm. You can see a kind of a push out in the red, which is again rain moving away from the radar, and then a little notch of green coming into the storm. And so that indicates, a little bit of overall circulation happening here around the Beltrami area. And again, this is an area that is tornado warned. So I want to keep that in mind. Stay in your safe place. If you've sheltered, hopefully you have. If you haven't, do so. And stay there and let this pass here, because we're still seeing some circulation within this point of the storm. Onstead area in the path of this too. And if it holds, if it continues moving directly east, we're looking at the fertile area potentially being impacted too. Other places down the line, Mentor, Maple Lake area as well. So again, this is the one area of circulation I'm watching. We're seeing, again, just kind of ragged edges here along our velocity line in the Norman County area, right over Ada getting that wind. And we're in it right now in Fargo. Some strong winds going on at the moment. Again, we did get that report of a tree down in Horace not too long ago. Let's take a look at the overall view. You can see we continue to have multiple warnings in effect right now, and this line continues to march eastward. If you know somebody at Wefest, this is about to come their way. So make sure that you give them a call. Try to wake them up and let them know that they are in the path of severe storms that are coming with wind gusts 70 to 80 miles per hour. Tents, RVs, not safe places to be with those kind of winds right now. The warning currently just outside of Detroit Lakes, but if it holds together, that warning will likely get extended. Okay, so that's what's going on right now. And we're looking at the potential for more severe weather as the morning goes on. We're kind of right at the start of what we would normally be starting the valley today. I don't know if we're going to be moving into a little bit of news on that. Okay, so we're going to be moving into the start of the valley today here. I'm still going to be here, and I'm going to be right back on giving you some updates, but we would just want to kind of re-rack and get the show started here. So again, I'll continue to track this here for you, get you any more updates here in the next couple of minutes.
For
on Friday, August 8th, 2025. The Valley Today 4:30 starts right now.
This is the
Well, if you're waking up here in the Valley or really all over the region, you're waking up to intense storms. And meteorologist Lisa Green has been tracking these for you all morning long.
Jordan, can you call me
She is with the
7567?
latest conditions. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, we're right in the thick of it right now. It took a while for this line to move in, but eventually it did, and it has been wreaking havoc. We've got power outages to report. We've got trees down and power lines down in some areas. And I just got a report from the Grand Forks Air Force Base of a 91-mile-per-hour wind gust clocked there. So a lot going on, and we continue to have warnings, including tornado warnings here. So the storm blasting through the Fargo Morehead area right now. We did have a tornado warning for Grand Forks as well. I'm going to zoom in on some of these locations. It's this main part of the line that's pushing out most. That's where we have the most intense severe weather going on. So this line is producing those 70 to 80, and now again with that newest report, 90-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And then within the line, there may be some circulations happening here where we get a quick spin-up tornado that increases the wind speed further. And we have had tornado warnings reported. At one point, we had a radar confirmed tornado in Grand Forks County, so we're going to be looking to get more information on that later today. But we have 2 warnings currently in effect for tornadoes. One in northwestern Polk County. This is in effect until 4:45, so 10 minutes left on that. The city of Grand Forks has been trimmed from that because you can see the line of storms is moving eastward and is moving out of the Grand City, so it's starting to quiet down a little bit for you there. But in northwestern Polk County, that line still moving through. Warren also included in this, I want to mention here, in southern parts of Marshall County and Minnesota as well. And we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for this particular area too. I don't want to overlook that. This is in effect until 5:30 this morning. We continue to get more and more warnings issued, but the Warren area included in that, Newfold and Thief River Falls as well. I'll move this over so we can see it. I know my computer, maybe we can move that over just a little bit more to make more space. We're looking at the Thief River Falls area included in that as well. This is moving east at a pretty fast clip. Most of our reports and tracking on it is between 50 and 60 mile per hour movement of the entire line. And then on top of that, we've got these gusts to 70 miles, 80 miles per hour or more. So that's that particular part of the storm. The second part of the storm, the tornado warning for parts of southwestern Polk County and northern parts of Norman County here. There's some circulation going on within this storm. Radar indicated tornadic circulation. That's moving eastward. So it's currently over the Beltrami area along Highway 9, and from there it is moving toward places like Fertile, and that warning in effect again for the next little under 15 minutes or so. This is our radar indicated or radial velocity, storm relative velocity here on the scan. Again, this just kind of measures the wind speed and direction within the raindrops within these storms, and so that's where we're looking at conditions that are going to be on the intense side in that area. You can see in Fargo, we're hearing a downpour right now. That is coming down. The camera was rocking just a little bit ago with the intense winds. And I did get a report here of a wind gust in the Morehead area of 68 miles per hour at a sensor in Morehead. So we have had a 68 mile per hour wind gust there. In addition, there are more areas, of wind that could be in that 70 to 80 mile per hour range. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here. Again, this is a very wide severe thunderstorm area includes Cass and Clay County until 5 a.m. 470 mile per hour gusts. But you can see these kind of little bowing segments again, indicating some stronger wind gusts associated with these areas. And so this is going to be moving eastward toward Detroit Lakes here shortly, and at that speed at 50 to 60 miles per hour. I just want to track this out for you really quick because I know we've got folks camping out at Wefest. That's going to reach, sorry guys, don't have the most steady hand there. Okay, that's going to reach the Detroit Lakes area here in this segment right here. Here's Lake Park, and then here's Detroit Lakes, and then down towards Sioux Pass Ranch. This segment is in the next 15 to 30 minutes. So again, warn your folks that are out there that they've got a strong storm heading their way. That includes a lot of lightning, includes strong wind gusts associated with it in that 70 to 80 mile per hour range. So here's a look at the overview of these storms. Again, we've got current severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got tornado warnings in effect for radar indicated tornadoes. I do want to mention here quickly that we have our severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect until 7 a.m. this morning, and that includes eastern North Dakota and western parts of Minnesota. So there's so much more to go over. We're going to take a little break right now and let Tatum kind of update us on current power outages at the moment. We also have another round of severe later today, so we're going to be talking about that coming up too.
Got it. Thank you so much, Lisa. And of course, we'll keep checking in with her throughout the morning, but we wanted to take a moment and show you this fantastic tool we've been utilizing while tracking these storms. We're on poweroutage.us. This is where you can go to check power outages in your region. So Right here, we're on North Dakota. It looks like this was just updated about 15 minutes ago. This is the latest report we have right now. And it looks like there's about 15,000 customers out in the entire state of North Dakota out of power. Now, the main concern here is Stutsman County. You can see the outage scale is near that 60 to 100% range. So we're going to go ahead and click on this and see what information it gives us. Here you can see it's about 69% outage. And again, this is here in Stutsman County. And it also gives you a list of electric providers at the bottom too who are experiencing these outages. But it's looking like we're seeing semi-intense outages right here south of Stutsman. This is Logan County right here, about 19% outage. We'll check maybe just two more of these here this morning. Go a little north of Stutsman, see what's going on here. Here in Eddy County, we're at about 21% of an outage. So again, you can use this tool. This is poweroutage.us. We'll keep checking in with this throughout the morning. But as always, to stay in the know the next time severe weather hits, download the VNL Weather app. It's where you'll find accurate up-to-the-minute forecast when you need the most. The best part, you can download and use it for free by searching VNL Weather in the App Store today. Now, switching gears here, a man faces multiple charges after assaulting a security guard and a Fargo police officer in downtown Fargo Wednesday night. Fargo police officers were called to Broadway Square around 9 p.m. for a report of an assault. According to court documents, a security guard was working an event in Broadway Square when Jonathan Peterson started to cause a disturbance. The guard attempted to get Peterson to move along, but he became agitated and attempted to hit the security guard with a skateboard, then running off. Police say they eventually located Peterson in Island Park. They say they held Peterson at taser point and told him to drop his skateboard, but he continued to yell at them, saying he was under the influence of cocaine and that the tasers wouldn't work on him. Peterson eventually dropped the skateboard and officers moved towards him. That's when they say he threw a punch, hitting an officer in the head. Documents say officers then tackled him before he was arrested. Fargo Police Captain William Affeldt is officially joining the Morehead Police Department as Assistant Chief. According to a news release from the city of Morehead, he starts sometime this month, bringing with him 23 years of experience with Fargo Police. Affeldt will join Morehead Police Chief Chris Helmick, who just came over from FPD only a few months ago. And Fargo's current chief, David Zapolsky, has seen recent calls for his job, all in the fallout from Sunday's deadly shooting. With some Fargo leaders, including Commissioners Dave Pepcorn